ito ay ang paglaganap ng scam farms ng mga POGO. Nakita natin na ang mga POGO ay gumagamit ng mga social media upang maglabas ng pekeng job offers at makapag-recruit ng mga kababayan natin na walang kamuang-muang at mabilis na naaakit sa mataas na sahod at magagandang benepisyo na pinangako ng POGO recruiters. Ngunit nauwi lamang sila bilang trafficking victims na sapilitang pinagtrabaho bilang mga scammers. Sa aking mga co-chairs, kay Senior Deputy Speaker Aurelio Dong Gonzales Jr., mga kasamahan at katrabaho sa Kongreso, mga resource persons at bisita, at ang mga nanonood via live stream, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. On behalf of the co-chairs and the members of the Committee on Public Order and Safety, we'd like to thank the leadership of the House for entrusting us with this important task of conducting hearings regarding online disinformation in our country. Pursuant to House Resolution number 286, which was adopted by the House on December 18, 2024, the Committee on Public Order and Safety, Information and Communications Technology, and Public Information, or the TRICOM, were authorized to conduct a joint inquiry in aid of legislation on the rampant posting of false and malicious content in social media platforms while safeguarding freedom of speech and ensuring digital safety. We thank the authors, namely Senior Deputy Speaker Gonzales, Deputy Speaker David J.J. C. Suarez, Majority Leader Manuel Jose Manix M. Dalipe, Minority Leader Marcelino C. Libanan, Representative Robert Ace Barbers, Benbenito M. Abante Jr., and Joseph Stephen Caraps S. Paduano for filing House Resolution number 2147, which the House adopted as House Resolution number 286. Sino rito ang nabiktima na ng maling impormasyon sa social media? Sino rito ang nakapag-share ng maling impormasyon sa social media na pinaniniwalaan nila na totoo? Malamang lahat tayo, ang masamang epekto ng disinformasyon at misinformasyon ay lalong umalingaw sa gitna ng isang global crisis sa ating kalusugan noong panahon ng COVID-19 pandemic, kung saan talamak ang paglabas ng mali-maling impormasyon sa internet. Noong panahon na iyon, mahirap para sa ordinaryong mamamayan na makakuha ng kritikal at wastong impormasyon mula sa ating mga ahensya. Sino rito ang nabiktima ng scam? O may kilalang nabiktima ng scam? Malamang lahat din tayo. Dahil sa social media, ang cybercrimes ngayon ay may tuturing na natin na mas madalas pang mangyari sa buhay ng isang karaniwang tao kesa sa mga common crimes. Bilang komite na may mandato na siyasatin ang lahat ng bagay na nauugnay sa pagsugpo ng kriminalidad, layunin po natin dito ang magkapagsagawa ng naangkop na batas laban sa mali at malisyosong impormasyon na nagdudulot ng pinsala at krimen sa ating mamamayan, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga kabataan. Napapanahon ang ating diskurso ngayong araw na ito dahil laganap na ang mga kasinungalingan at peking balita sa social media. Bawat Pilipino, lalong-lalo na mga menor de edad, mga hindi nakapag-aral, mga matatanda na hindi sanay sa teknolohiya, at iba pang mga vulnerable sector ng ating lipunan, tayong lahat ay posibleng maging biktima ng panloloko at paglilinlang sa social media. Isang nakakaalarmang sitwasyon sa social media ay ang pag-normalize ng paggamit ng bastos na salita, toxic behavior, haters, personal attacks o bashing. Our children start to experience self-hate and resort to self-harm. Bagamat sinusubukan na matugunan ang mga insidente ng cyberbullying, ito pa rin ay maaaring maging sanhi ng depresyon, suicidal thoughts, at iba pang mga long-term negative effect sa ating mental health. Napakahirap na mawari kung ano ang totoo at peke sa social media. Lalo-lalo na at mayroong satirical news websites, AI-generated images at deepfakes. Ayon sa isang survey, 86% ng mga Pilipino ay naniniwala na isang malaking problema ang fake news. Ngunit mas malaking problema ang mga trolls na sadyang nagpapalaganap ng peking balita. Ang disinformasyon na kinakalat nila ay may tuturing na weaponization of social media kapag ito ay nagdulot ng karahasan o nagasik ng pagkabitak-bitak ng ating lipunan. Hindi natin maikakait ang malalim na pinsalang dulot ng peking balita. Cybercrimes, lalo na kung ito ay patungkol sa kalusugan, seguridad ng bansa, terorismo, child sexual abuse o exploitation, natural na kalamidad, public emergency at integridad ng ating mga demokratikong institusyon. Banggitin ko lamang po ang isang mahalagang bagay na tinatalakay noong Quadcom. Ito ay ang paglaganap ng scam farms ng mga POGO. Nakita natin na ang mga POGO ay gumagamit ng mga social media upang maglabas ng pekeng job offers at makapag-recruit ng mga kababayan natin na walang kamuang-muang at mabilis na naaakit sa mataas na sahod at magagandang benepisyo na pinangako ng POGO recruiters. Ngunit nauwi lamang sila bilang trafficking victims na sa pilitang pinagtrabaho bilang mga scammers. Isa itong ehemplo na nagpapakita ng kahinaan ng ating mga batas at kakulangan ng proteksyon ng ating mamamayan laban sa mga panloloko sa internet. Mismong ang pag-iit ng ating pagmamay-ari ng West Philippine Sea ay apektado sa paglaganap ng kasinungalingan sa SOCMED. Sabi nga ni Justice Antonio Carpio, ang pag-angkin ng China sa West Philippine Sea ay maituturing na fake news of the century. Ang mga Pinoy na trolls naman na nagpapalaganap ng maling impormasyon tungkol dito, pwede ba nating ituring bilang mga traidor ng bayan? Marahil ay kinakailangan nating amyandahan ang ating mga batas, unang-una na Republic Act number 10175 o ang Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. Marami mga panukalang batas ang nilagdaan ng aking mga kasamahan sa Kongreso. At ako mismo, naghain ako ng House Bill Resolution number 543 na naglalayo na maitatag ang social media regulation upang maprotektahan ang ating mga kabataan. Kinakailangan natin ang mga makabago at naangkop na mga polisiya at patakaran laban sa disinformasyon. Kailangan natin suriing mabuti kung paano maitatag ang fact-checking at content moderation sa ating mga social media platforms. Higit sa lahat, kinakailangan natin magkaroon ng isang makabuluhang diskurso patungo sa online safety at digital literacy. Lahat yan sa bawat Pilipino. Sa pamamagitan ng malawakang talakayang ito sa Kongreso, maging layunin natin na magkaroon ng public awareness at makadagdag sa kalaman ng ating kababayan ukol sa disinformasyon. Hinikayat ko po ang lahat ng narito sa ating pagpupulong na sikaping makamit ang layuning ito. Sa inyong lahat, maraming salamat po. The Chair now recognizes Congressman Chairman
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Pimentel, you're now recognized.
Good morning to everyone. Today, we gather to address a pressing issue that is increasingly permeating our digital landscape: the pervasive spread of fake news on social media platforms. As we delve into this inquiry, it is essential to underscore the critical implications that misinformation has on public discourse, democratic processes, and societal cohesion. Social media has transformed how we communicate and access information. It provides unprecedented opportunities for dialogue and engagement, allowing voices from all walks of life to be heard. Yet, the same platform has become a fertile ground for the rapid dissemination of falsehoods and misleading narratives. The consequences of such misinformation are profound, influencing everything from public health decisions to electoral outcomes and undermining trust in our institutions and each other. As lawmakers, our role is not only to understand the scope and nature of this phenomenon, but also to consider our responsibility in creating a framework that protects the integrity of information while respecting the fundamental principles of free speech. We must tread carefully, ensuring that our legislative responses do not inadvertently stifle legitimate discourse or infringe upon the rights of individuals. This inquiry seeks to illuminate the dynamics at play between social media, fake news, and the public. We aim to gather insights from experts, stakeholders, and the public at large, examining the efficacy of existing regulations, the accountability of social media platforms, and the potential for new legislative measures to combat misinformation. We must ask ourselves, what constitutes fake news? How can we differentiate between misinformation and legitimate debate? What role should media companies play in monitoring and curbing the spread of false information? And crucially, how can we empower the public to critically engage with information they encounter online? Together, let us strive to find solutions that not only address the challenges posed by fake news, but also foster a vibrant, informed, and responsible digital citizenship. Our discussions today and in the days to come will shape the path forward in this vital area, and I encourage you to contribute your insights and perspectives in this hearing. Thank you and good morning to everyone.
The next to deliver his opening remarks is the chairman on Committee on Public Information and Communication Technology. Committee on Public Information, chaired by Congressman Chairman Jevara. Now you are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning to all of you. Let me thank our colleagues, resource persons, and everyone in attendance today as we try to understand and address the rampant spread of disinformation on social media. In today's digital era, its speed and impact are unprecedented, which compels us to address this head-on. Intentionally misleading information poses significant risk to our society, undermining public trust, threatening public safety, and influencing public opinion. We share a collective responsibility to address this challenge effectively. As I understand, we have representatives from different sectors, and our goal is to strengthen collaboration and explore approaches to counter disinformation. Each of you bring unique expertise and insights. We highly encourage all our resource persons to actively participate in our committee meetings and to exercise their freedom of speech, of expression, and of the press with diligence and integrity. As we engage in meaningful discussions, let us uphold the highest moral and ethical standards, recognizing that all freedoms and rights come with a responsibility to use them wisely. Together, let us foster a respectful and productive dialogue that contributes to inform policy making and the public good. With that in mind, I look forward to a constructive discussion with all of you. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you so much, Co-Chair Joboy Aquino. Now, the Chair would like to recognize one of the authors of House Resolution number 2147, Senior Deputy Speaker Don Gonzales. Now, you are recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chairman Dan, Chairman Johnny, Chairman Joboy, honorable members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good morning to all of us. It is my privilege to sponsor House Resolution number 286, which calls for a joint inquiry in aid of legislation on the rampant posting of false and malicious content on social media platforms, while safeguarding freedom of speech and ensuring digital safety. Social media bridges gaps. Pinag-uugnay nito ang mga tao, bumubuo ito ng mga komunidad, nagpapalawak ng mga kamalayan at nagsusulong ng pagbabahagi ng kaalaman. According to online article by Data Reportal, the Philippines was home to 86.75 million social media users in January 2024. Equating to 73.4% of the total population. At sabi naman ng Foundation for Media Alternatives, ang Facebook ay ang pinakamura at pinakamadaling ma-access dahil ang ilang mga network ay inaalok ito ng libre bilang bahagi ng kanilang data plan. Ngunit, sa kabila ng napakaraming benepisyong kakibat nito, social media can also be used as a conduit of inappropriate content. We all experience browsing our social media platforms, and more often, we come across racist, sexist, homophobic, religious, and political-based hate contents. Ang mga mapanirang nilalaman na ito ay naglalagay sa panganib sa kaligtasan ng publiko sa pamamagitan ng maling impormasyon, online harassment, mga panlilinlang at iba pang anyo ng cyberbullying. We affirm that instrumental role of social media in today's day and age, but there is an overwhelming need to address harmful content and at the same time uphold constitutional freedoms, particularly the freedom of speech and expression, which are considered cornerstones of our democracy. House Resolution number 286 proposes for the development of an improved transparency and accountability mechanisms for social media platforms. Most especially, it calls for an enhanced content moderation, reporting systems, and safeguards against misuse of algorithms. Additionally, digital literacy needs to be prioritized to help our fellow Filipinos discern credible information. Likewise, the resolution will also review Republic Act number 10175 or the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012 to address the challenges posed by emerging technologies and harmful online content. To effectively address and promote digital safety, a multi-stakeholder approach must be carried out. Social media companies, cybersecurity experts, and legal professionals must come together to craft an effective and double legislation. By working together, we can ensure a safer digital landscape while preserving democratic values. Inihikayat ko po ang aking mga kapwa mambabatas at lahat ng ating mga panauhin na suportahan ang resolusyon ito upang matiyak ang kaligtasan ng ating digital space. let us reconfigure our social media platforms with meaningful discourse, innovation, and empowerment rather than a breeding ground for deception of harm. Takal po salamat, may payabak po kay Katam.
Ano yan? Ano yan?
Good morning to all of you. Takal po salamat. Maraming salamat.
To deliver the next opening remarks, the one who deliver is privilege speeches, two privilege speeches in the plenary on December 4 and 16, 2024. Chairman Robert Ace Barbers, you are now recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is very short, Mr. Chairman. As the proponent of the privilege speech that was delivered last year, with respect to the issues in the social media, allow this representation to deliver a very short opening remark, Mr. Chair. Magandang umaga, mga kasamahan, honorable colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We are gathered here today not to silence voices, suppress free speech, or curtail the constitutional right to freedom of expression. Instead, we are here to draw the line between responsible discourse and the deliberate, systematic abuse of digital platforms to spread lies, destroy reputations, and manipulate public perception. This hearing seeks to establish a regulatory framework for social media similar to how the kapisanan ng mga broadcasters sa Pilipinas or the KBP regulates television and radio broadcasters, and how the National Union of Journalists of the Philippines or the NUJP upholds ethical standards for print media. Our goal is to develop a code of conduct for content creators, ensuring accountability and ethical responsibility in this rapidly evolving digital space. While we uphold the constitutional right to freedom of speech, we must also recognize the urgent need for regulation to prevent the misuse of digital platforms. The lack of oversight has allowed vloggers and online influencers to freely spread harmful narratives without fact-checking or ethical accountability. To address this, social media platforms like TikTok and Facebook must be treated as legitimate businesses requiring a franchise or accreditation system. By holding these platforms accountable for monitoring and removing defamatory content, we can foster a safer and more responsible digital environment. This measure will not only encourage ethical content creation, but also curb the spread of libelous and misleading information. Just as traditional media operates under legal and ethical standards, bloggers and online influencers must also be subject to similar regulations to prevent the reckless dissemination of falsehoods. In recent years, we have witnessed the alarming rise of trolls, bloggers, and malicious online actors who, under the guise of exercising free speech, systematically spread fake news and engage in character assassination. These individuals and groups, operating with seeming impunity, have poisoned public discourse and in many instances tarnished the reputation of those who dare challenge their narratives. Despite the existence of laws such as the Cybercrime Prevention Act, Filipinos remain vulnerable to online deception, harassment, and digital attacks that threaten not only individual lives but also the integrity of our democracy. The reality is that these network of trolls are not simply expressing opinions. They are engaged in a well-orchestrated, well-funded campaign to spread disinformation, manipulate public perception, and destabilize institutions. The sources of funding for these operations remain in the shadows, possibly linked to illicit activities such as POGO operations or criminal syndicates. These financial resources are weaponized to create chaos, erode trust in government, undermine the media, and weaken our democratic foundations. Ironically, but not surprisingly, none of these actors speak out against China's aggression in the West Philippine Sea, proving our suspicion of illegal foreign funding. Let us be clear. This is no longer a mere issue of online criticism. What we are facing is a calculated effort to deceive, defame, and discredit those who seek to uphold the truth. These trolls are mercenaries of disinformation, paid to disrupt, confuse, and divide. Their mission is to drown out facts, distort the truth, and silence those who speak out against corruption and injustice. We too have not been spared. As public servants, we have been personally targeted by these malicious actors. Myself, my colleagues, and even the President. We accept criticism when it pertains to our official duties. But it is evident that these attacks go beyond public accountability. Their true intent is to discredit us before the electorate and the people we serve through personal and baseless attacks. The Supreme Court in Labargan versus People of the Philippines, GR number 246824, citing the Kev Jr. versus People in GR number 206015, ruled that, and I quote, offensive imputations against public officers do not constitute defamation if these relate to their discharge of official duties unless the prosecution proves actual malice. Defamatory utterances are malicious when made with knowledge that they were false or with reckless disregard as to its falsity, unquote. But this issue is bigger than any individual case, Mr. Chairman. This is about every Filipino who has been a victim of online harassment, cyber libel, and digital deception. If we continue to ignore this growing problem, we are failing the people we have sworn to protect. Social media should never be a tool for personal attacks or harassments or the destruction of reputations. Those who exploit these platforms to spread black propaganda, lies, and harm others must be held accountable. We have also received reports of vloggers soliciting donations under the pretense of funding their content, only to be involved in scams and online fraud. All this must stop, Mr. Chair. Today, we commit ourselves to finding solutions. We will explore ways to protect the public from the dangers of fake news and disinformation while ensuring that our digital spaces remain safe, ethical, and credible for future generations. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. That was 10 minutes.
I thought 9 minutes only.
It was short.